and that's not a good thing. Hey guys, all right, so I'm super excited about this one because I have been really wanting to try this kind of puzzle for quite a long time now. And I actually picked it up, well, I had to go find it during my trip to England. And I found a ton of them. And believe me, trying to pick one or two in the end, I took two with me, it wasn't easy. But anyways, the puzzle that I am talking about is one of the Wasgij puzzles. Wasgij, I said that right? I don't know. The brand is Jumbo. This is from the original puzzle collection, and it's called Car Boot Capers. It is 1,000 pieces, and it's 68 by 49 centimeters when it's completed. Now, these Wasgij puzzles are made in the Netherlands, and I've had one experience so far. I believe it was just one of a puzzle from the Netherlands, and that was from the Lawrence King company. And not all of their puzzles are from Netherlands, but the one that I tried, the Dracula one, I mean, that experience, that piece quality, everything about it was absolutely amazing. So I'm really hoping for the same, you know, kind of quality experience and whatnot here. I mean, I don't know what to expect. I've heard a lot of great things about these puzzles from you guys. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to it. Now, if you don't know anything about the Wasgij puzzles, these are very interesting. You do not puzzle what you see. You have to use your imagination and puzzle what the person in the image sees. But it also does say here that there are puzzle hints inside the box. So we shall see, right? At least I guess that'll give me some idea of what I'm doing here. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I'm feeling a tiny bit intimidated by this because I've never actually worked on a puzzle, you know, without knowing what the image is. So I kind of have to figure out, you know, how do I go about sorting? I don't know what to expect in terms of what's in the pieces, the details. You know, I'm going in this completely with blindfolded. I don't know. Either way, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a lot of fun. So you know what, guys? I really want to get into this already because I want to see what these are all about. So I'm gonna stop yapping. So let's go unbox this. All right, let's get this opened up. Now this does have plastic wrap on this, so let's quickly take that off. All right, I love the quality of this box. It's nice and sturdy. But anyways, let's see what the pieces are like, because that's more important. All right, so we have here, what is this? All right, so this here has a little description about, you know, basically with the whole image, you know, what's going on here, the car boot capers. And then in the back here, it tells you, I guess these are puzzle, well, not guess, it says these are puzzle hints. So we have a car, a lamp, a dog reading something, and I'm guessing that's the placement of where those particular items are in the image. I have no idea. This is gonna be interesting because, you know, there's no reference image. I don't know how I'm gonna go about this in terms of sorting and all that fun stuff. But anyways, let's get into the pieces and see what the quality, I can't speak. What is that like? Let's see. All right, so far I'm not seeing very much puzzle dust, which is good. I mean, we have a little bit here, but not very much. Actually, no way. Maybe I take that back. I don't know if you could see that on my finger, but there is some light puzzle dust. But anyways, let's see what these pieces are like. All right. All right, one thing I have to say that's caught my eye immediately is the colors. I mean, these colors are just super bright. They're nice and sharp. The image looks sharp. Oh, you can see here the bubbles. I hope this camera's focusing, but I mean, this looks really good. In terms of piece size, you got what looks to be your standard 1,000 count size here. We got ourselves 1.23 inches. Hopefully you can see that, or 31.3 millimeters. In terms of strength, I mean, these feel pretty darn good, nice and sturdy. Let's see what the thickness is like here. We got ourselves 1.9 millimeters, 0.07 inches. These feel really nice and strong. Wow, very, very nice. In terms of glare, I'm not getting too much here, if any at all. I don't know, I'm probably going to tell better once I'm puzzling, but I'm trying to put it against the light and not seeing any gloss at all, really, which is nice. Maybe a matte finish, who knows? I must say, so far, so good. Now, my biggest concern here, well, not concern, but I'm super curious to see what this hold and fit is gonna be like. Hopefully is good, because so far I'm really lacking what we got here. And, you know, aside from that, you know, I don't know really how long this is gonna take me, how long it's gonna sort, piece together, whatnot, because I have no idea what I'm puzzling here. So you know what? Enough of these ramblings. Let's just get with it, because yeah, I'm curious to see what the end result is going to be. All right, let's move on. So how does one go about sorting a puzzle image they've never seen before? Well, it didn't help studying the box image, of course, but I knew that whatever I was going to be puzzling, there was going to be a bunch of craziness going on, just like the box image itself. I mean, this image is chaos. There's so many random things going on. I didn't know what to think or imagine what this dude was looking at. But I did in the end come up with some sort of plan. Alright, this was really tricky. So what I had to do was basically make sure I laid all the pieces out, well, at least from the pile that I had, flip them print side up, and kind of just figure out what color stood out to me the most. So I don't know if that made any sense, but anyways, let me just show you what I did, and maybe you'll get an idea. I don't even know why I have this box here. I know I usually reference the image as to what I did, but that's not what we're even puzzling. So anyways, we have the edge pieces. This tray, I have pieces with, I guess you can say, people's faces, arms, whatnot. At least I think that's what they are. This little mini pile here is just kind of a mixture of random stuff. This next pile, this was like the browns, and I put pieces that had mostly browns in them. There'll be some greens and other things in there, but again, mainly browns. This tray here, we have two things going on. We have reds and blues and purples and maybe some grays. Next, we have a big mess. This is the biggest tray out of all of them, and I probably could have separated a little better, but what I did anyways here was, this section here is pieces with whites. We have yellows, and this is from, like, this looks like it might be a sphinx. So I just put those pieces in that little pile there. That's kind of like its own little thing. Anyways, these two tray here's, we have greens, but as you can probably see, these are lighter greens, and this is darker greens. And of course, it's gonna have numerous things in them, but it's whatever colors was mostly in that piece. And then for the last tray here, we have anything that had pink, just pinks, that's it, with other stuff as well, but you know, again, mainly pink in the piece. So I don't know, well, no, this should help me, right? I've kind of, you know, grouped things together as best I could, you know, as I went through all the pieces, so we'll see. Yeah, let's do this. So I figured starting with the edge pieces was the best idea for something like this, and I got that together fairly quickly. Then I just picked up one of the trays with the least amount of pieces, and that's something I typically do when completing any puzzle. You know, just start with what I think will be the easiest way to get my puzzle groove going. But anyways, after that, I really just started flip-flopping between all the trays without much thought, because again, I had no idea what section or object to focus on piecing together. I was all over the place. It felt like chaos, and strangely, I was really liking that. Alright, now this has been absolute insanity, but I mean that in a good way. And really, considering that I have not a clue what's going on in this image here, I feel like in the amount of time that I've been working on this, like I feel like I've gotten a lot done. And I'm even having moments where I feel like I'm working quicker than like when I have a reference image, which is kind of strange and weird. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It's really making me focus on what I've, you know, really got in these trays in terms of spending time, you know, looking really closely at each piece. And it's not, you know, it may sound like that's time consuming, but it actually hasn't been. I must say this tray here with all like the writings and whatnot, this has become like my most trickiest tray, and also the one with the faces, because again, you know, I don't know where people are, I don't know where you know what's going on here. But we also have this small amount of pieces here, which I feel like, I don't know if I can get these in somehow, but I don't know. Then we have all these green pieces. I mean, it is challenging, but I must say the challenge is fun. I'm very much enjoying this, and I'm kind of like, you know, trying to resort each tray, you know, like in little tiny piles. And of course I end up with the big mess on my table, but that's okay. You know, that's supposed to happen. What is working for me though is that, you know, considering, and this might work for you too, considering you don't know what's going on, you know, start from one side and then kind of like piece your way going this way. That's probably the worst description you've ever heard of how to try to puzzle something like this, but you know, I don't really know how else to say it. So I'm thinking probably my next point that I'm going to work on is here, kind of try to see if I can, you know, work towards right to left and completing it that way. This thing is absolutely creepy. That's hideous. But, you know, as you can see here, that's what I was doing in this area. And, you know, it's actually working out pretty good. But you know what? I feel like now at this point I'm just rambling. I really just want to like jump into this and keep working on it. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, let's do it. Well, I didn't exactly continue to puzzle like I had suggested, but anyways, depending on the image, sometimes I tend to get distracted at other pieces that I think I can put together quickly whilst working on something else. And I guess I shouldn't have been surprised at my behavior with this one, because I know I felt like I just had to get whatever my eyes recognized pieced together in that moment so that I wouldn't forget about it. I tried to be organized and focused at one thing at a time, but I couldn't. It was just a bunch of chaotic puzzling. Does that ever happen to you with some puzzles? All right, still doing pretty good here and still having fun, which is always a good thing. But anyways, you know, I was looking at this paper that comes inside the box, and it, you know, it gives you like the hints of where certain things are. And, you know, for a while, well, for the longest while, I was like, this is totally useless. I mean, do you really need this? Because unless you're getting these particular sections put together, I mean, it's not like it's gonna help you much, in my opinion. I'm probably not really articulating this very well, but I mean, I could say this right here, this car, I've had this section sorted out, and you know, this has kind of helped me figure out now. Obviously, this is gonna go over here, but then again, I could have just looked at the edges here and see that would have matched. But anyways, we'll just get that in there. Now that has its place. In regards to the other ones, do I have anything else here? I see that lamp, and I see this bit of the lamp here, so this dude must go somewhere over here. Oh, actually, yeah, it does. Because the sign matches there, and this is part of it. Anyways, you know what? Let's just move on with this. But, you know, this might help you, this might not, I don't know. It's only a few little hints in there, but anyways, let's get a move on with it. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm stuck. So I really don't have that much left. I kind of got, I guess you could say, a handful of pieces in each of these 4 trays here. And, you know, the puzzle looks just about done. But I don't know, I think what I'm going to have to do now is start resorting by shape just to kind of help me a bit. Maybe I'm getting too antsy and I'm trying to, you know, get it done quickly and I'm not concentrating enough. So yeah, let's do that and let's see if that's going to work and, you know, help me get this done. All right, let's do it. I knew that would do the trick. When you have those last few bunches of pieces left, resorting by shape really does help you reach the finish line quicker. And that's if you don't mind taking the time to sort, of course. But anyways, this puzzle took me about 5.5 hours to complete. And considering I had no idea what I was puzzling, I was very surprised at my timing. And yes, of course, I could have looked this up online and printed out my own reference image or something, but what's the fun in that? I was quite proud of myself for getting it done, and the challenge was surprisingly fun. I thought I'd be pulling my hair out. But anyways, did I think my first Wasgij experience was good enough to make me want more on my puzzle shelves? All right, so let's get started on my thoughts with the overall quality. So for one, I love the print on this. The colors were sharp, the details were very easy to see, and I didn't have any issues with glare, which was fantastic. The piece size was good, and I liked the variety of piece shapes. I think there were about 5 or 6 different types. And most of all, that fit and hold was very satisfying. I didn't experience any false fits. All the sections held on together, big ones, small ones. It was easy to move them around. And even the frame, which in my experience tends to be on the loose and crumbly side for most brands, but this one held. It did pass the pickup test. And with the little special maneuvering, it did pass my storage test as well. So in terms of my experience with the quality, amazing. Probably one of the best I've experienced so far. And in terms of, the whole concept of Wasgij puzzles, I was surprised that I really loved it. The whole idea of puzzling what the person in the image sees, so you basically have no idea what you're putting together, I really thought I wasn't going to be that into it. But it sparked something in me. It kind of like turned on some super focus mode I had within me. Because I had so many instances where I felt like I was piecing sections together quicker than when I actually know what I'm puzzling. If that makes sense. I mean, it was craziness. And the challenge of it all kept me excited and really wanting to uncover the full image. It was so much fun. So please let me know down below, what were your overall experiences like, not only with the quality, and did you enjoy the whole concept, or would not knowing what you're puzzling drive you insane? I mean, I don't know, let me know. I really wish that I can find more of these in the stores around me. I feel like there's really no reason why places like a Barnes & Noble, shouldn't already be carrying these. Because I would definitely do this over and over again, and would gladly buy tons more to fill up my puzzle shelves. But I am glad that I do have one more in my collection that I can work on, which I had also picked up in England along with this one. But then again, maybe it's a good thing that they're not in all the stores around me, because, if that was the case, I'd most likely have nothing left in my wallet, and that's not a good thing. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope all is well, and I'll see you in the next one.